what we do here is go back.
That should be, I think that's working. Who knows? Possibly it is. It appears it is. Good evening everyone, Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. Over in the hot seat over there is Kath, Mrs. Mike's Unboxing. Hopefully you're all having a slightly better weekend than I am currently. It is currently very wet, very damp, not particularly warm. Hey, it's the usual UK summertime, so for all of you outside of the UK, welcome to our summer. What a fantastic summer it is. So it is, what day is it today? Saturday. Oh yeah, of course, live stream day. Saturday the 21st of August 2021. Hopefully you're all having a good evening. Hopefully Matthew Day is tucking into some rather cheap microwavable nosh. What did you say you had, Kath?
Chicken and mushroom pie.
Chicken and mushroom pie. Good start.
My favourite.
We actually had a pizza today. And it was a particularly good one from a local business called Rose Takeaway. And top marks. Probably the best pizza I've had in a very, very long time. And it was equally good last night when we ordered it, and it was today cold. So, Rose Takeaway, thank you very much. This content is not sponsored by Rose Takeaway, by the way. Although, if you're watching, give me a call. So, who have we got with us tonight? Actually, we didn't do the hellos yet, do we? I'm completely... I should do the hellos straight away. But this week has been problematic, very problematic. It's been one thing after the other. Fortunately though, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Yay! So I will be partaking in beverages later on. So if you wish to join me for a little tipple, feel free to do so and let us know in the comments what you're having to drink tonight. We will be mostly dining on ass, as we generally like to here at Mike's Unboxing. Not what you're thinking it is a Norwegian beverage, spelt AASS, which you'll be seeing a lot more of the can a little bit later. So what have we been doing this week? We have been doing this week many, many wonderful things. That was a line from Police Academy, if you've not watched it, and if you're not old enough or young enough, whichever the case may be, if you haven't watched Police Academy, do yourself a favour, watch the Police Academy movies. They're hysterically bad, but they're good entertainment, and there's some fantastic performances in there, there really is. Steve Guttenberg, what happened to him? Is he still alive? Who knows? Anyway, let's get on with the stream. So this week, what have we been doing? Well, finally we managed to sell the Ryzen 5 3400G system. Yay! That actually sold today, which is partly why it's been one of those kind of like, oh my god, types of days. So trying to do the PC behind me, which some of you can probably see already, which you may not actually recognize what PC that is or what case it is. Actually, there will be points awarded to whoever in the chat can tell us what PC is actually behind me currently, or at least what case it is. That'd be a good start. Extra points will be awarded for other peripherals, but so you can see it. 3 fans up front. You'll never guess in a million years what case it is, because today, ladies and gentlemen, I have had to have the, where is it? Oh, I don't think I'm even allowed to show this on YouTube, but what the hell? We have had to use a craft knife and various other mechanical implements to take an already decent case, but make it more suitable for my endeavours. So yeah, that has been part of the day. Yesterday evening, basically, I spent probably 5 hours creating a video for a PC build, which I'm doing for a neighbour. I'm trying to help them out, getting a nice little cheap PC for one of their kids, do some gaming, some streaming, all that kind of stuff. And it's caused me no end of headache. If I had hair, I would be pulling it out in clumps. Literally, I was doing my nut, and good 5-6 hours yesterday easily, and again another few hours today trying to get it to play ball. We'll go through some of the specs of the system later. You can see them already, they're in the video description anyway, so you can check them out. Caf's put some links in. If you want to buy any of those parts, there should be affiliated links, so fill your boots there. But essentially we were kind of looking, well, originally the Ryzen 5 3400G system is what they were interested in, the one that actually sold today. But after speaking to them and working out what it is they actually want the computer for, I came to the realization that it isn't really the PC for them. And we've all been there. Someone's come to you and said, oh, I want to buy your PC, or I've got a PC, I want a PC, here's how much money I've got. And you think, excellent, right, I can do something for that. And then they'd say, right, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do some video editing, we want to do some gaming, we want to do some streaming, we want to do 4K captures, and then you kind of, you have to reel them in a bit and change their expectations. Just because in the listing on Facebook Marketplace it says gaming PC, we all know that doesn't necessarily mean it is a gaming PC. And I did actually list it as a gaming PC, even though it only had the integrated Vega 11 graphics, which technically can play games, and as we all know, and those of you that have owned one yourself, the Vega 11 actually, as a kind of placeholder, isn't too bad. You can play some games, including some AAA titles, again, lower settings, lower resolutions, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, long story short, this is not the PC for them. So I said, I've got some bits knocking around, I'm sure I can make something up which will be great for gaming, great for streaming, great for video editing, and isn't going to cost you an absolute fortune. So we come up with a budget of around about somewhere between £600 and £700. I conservatively said £650, and they said sounds good to us. So we've increased our budget by about £300, which is helpful, but it's not helpful for me for getting sleep. And yeah, we'll go through why as we go through the parts. I've actually made a standalone video for this, so if you're not going to watch the whole stream or you're ducking in and out, there will be a video actually on the PC itself, the build, my experiences, etc, etc, and it probably will make a slightly more coherent viewing pleasure other than on the stream, because I probably will go off on all sorts of tangents as we tend to do here. But as you can probably tell on the desk, well actually you probably can't tell, because there is a huge Mike's Unboxing banner which we'll get rid of. So as you can see, there are some big fans actually on the desk here, and also the remnants of a case front panel. And it'd be interesting, actually, did anyone mention in the comments, Caf? Did anybody come up with what it was? No. No? Nobody guessed? Okay, so the case behind me, believe it or not, is the IONZ Taiyo, which we reviewed a little while back. Great little case. I really love it. And it had the, well, obviously, it had the two huge 200mm fans up front, and it also had the single 120 in the rear. Now, this for me is where the problem started, because as you do on Facebook Messenger and that kind of stuff, I sent them a picture of the case, which is always a big mistake. So they've seen the case, they know what it looks like, and they're like, yes, that's just the thing. So you get around, you do your build, and then you realize after that maybe it's not going to quite cut the mustard. Now, for those of you who have already watched the review of the case, it's a great little case, it really is. The chassis itself is really good. But my issue was the fans that were included are static RPM fans. So they spin it somewhere, I'm thinking it's a little bit higher than 800 RPMs. I think it's closer to 900, maybe 1000 RPMs. And the rear one spins about 1200, something along those lines. So although they do a good job and they move an absolute ton of air, for me personally, it was a little bit on the noisy side. And the fact that you can't control it, you don't know what people are going to have in their setups, whether they're going to have a totally quiet room or whether they're going to have a crazy household with people running around all over the place. You just don't know. But the last thing I wanted to happen was to sell the PC, or potentially sell the PC, and then them turn around to us and say, it's really good, but it's a little bit loud. Is there anything you can do? Because at that point, you're in a real world of hurt. Because what can you do? You can't really do anything other than stick your fingers in the fan, which I'm a great fan of. That will slow it down considerably to 0 RPM and reduce the noise to a very, very low level. But sadly, it's not a practical thing. So I did look at all sorts of options. Some of you may remember as well, this is connected via Molex. Now you can, with Molex connections, you can actually convert it from 12 volt down to 9 volt or 7 volt. But because of the way this is all connected, with various wires coming off everywhere for the RGB and also the fans themselves, the speed, I couldn't get my head around reducing the voltage from 12 volts to 9 volts for the fans, because it involves bridging 2 pins, which I think would have then affected something else further on down the line, and I just couldn't get my head around it. And I was wrestling with the idea. I knew deep down I had to change the fans out, hence why they're on the desk right now. So changing the fans out, you'd think, would be a relatively straightforward task. No, 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 my friends. Let me show you what the problem there is, or indeed was. So if I take this front panel off, this is where I break things. All the stuff behind me. So this is the front panel from the IONZ case. And most of you will possibly remember it had this in the middle of it. So it looked like that. So if you put 3 fans up front, it looks ridiculous. So essentially what I did is had to do a little bit of cautious modding, but also leave this intact, so if for some reason at some point I wanted to put those fans back in, I still could. So I ended up bending out the tabs on the inside here, which holds the mesh in, and taking the mesh out entirely, and then with a trimming knife, literally trimming down the side of the plastic. Now luckily the plastic wasn't particularly strong in the areas I was trimming, which was a beneficial thing. So I've managed to take this center section out, and well, I'll let you guys be the judge of it. Does it look like a case which has been hacked to pieces? I'm looking in the camera because I don't know myself. I haven't really had a massively close look. And the mesh is still held in place properly, so we've got no issues there. And it still holds on to the front of the case very easily. There's 4 mounting points, 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas it did have 8, because it had the ones in the middle as well, which, to be honest with you, were probably overkill anyway. So that actually turned out really good and modded very easily. I put in the fans, which actually these are thanks to, I think it was Bob who actually sent us these a little while back. So we took out those ones and we put in the Wooviboo from the Wooviboo computer store. These were a set of 4 fans, which was the only set of fans I had actually in the house, which were a set of 4, because I wanted 3 up front, 1 in the rear. 5 set was probably a little bit overkill, and also obviously things like pricing, etc. I don't want to start putting money into this when I don't necessarily have to. Did Bob send these? Or did...
Oh, he's put on, oh yeah, I remember those.
I couldn't remember whether they were sent to us for review or whether Bob sent them or where they came from. But actually, it's worked out really well, so thumbs up to Bob once again for bailing me out of the shit. Sorry, curse words. So actually now the front panel looks very, very much like, pretty much like the Lianli 215. And with those 3 fans on the front, actually, I think it looks pretty darn good. You'll get some close-ups and B-roll, etc. of that when we finish off the video, because I still haven't finished off the tail end of it because today has been an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that was the first part of it. Now in the build, there's various things which I've used, which I've had here, which have just been lying around, and it's just like I need to use them. They're in the way. I really need to do something with them. So one of the first things was this, which you've all seen so many times. This is a side-on 700 watt semi-modular power supply. It needs 700 watts, really, even though this kind of isn't really 700 watts. Inside the PC, we've got a combination of parts. So we've got a Ryzen 7 1700X, 8 core, 16 threads, base clock, I think, of 3.4 gigahertz, turbos up to something like 3.7, maybe, no, is it 3. Might even be 3.9. Anyway, it's a decent all-round chip. I used it for years for video editing, so I thought, yeah, a little bit of extra juice is going to be good. I did have a 550 watt bronze, and I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm not too sure about that. We've actually put in there as well, graphics card-wise, a GTX 1070. So the GTX 1070, I think that draws somewhere around 225 watts maximum load, I think. I'm thinking like 150 from the PCI Express connector and maybe 75 watts from the actual the motherboard itself. So yeah, somewhere around that region. The processor can draw anything up to about 140, 150, as I've seen from some of the results I've been getting. So 150 watts plus 225. This is kind of almost double that. So we're, well, not quite double, but it's a good 2/3 at least. So there's a little bit of headroom in there anyway. Now, for those of you who are thinking, but Mike, you've got all these other power supplies. You've got the EVGA B5 550 watt. You've also got the Cooler Master M550 Gold. You've also got the one you bought this week, the Sharkoon one. And because of some of the issues I was getting with performance, I've actually tried all 4 of them. I had the whole system on the desk last night, and I was racking my brains. I was running Cinebench, and the Cinebench scores were not getting what they should do. Now, for those of you that haven't used Cinebench before, you can go into Cinebench and it shows you a list of other processors which have been tested, and it gives you a points, which is kind of like your guideline to work out if you're at the right level, whether you're overclocked well, whether you're underclocked, whether there's some weird shit happening. For me, there was definitely some weird shit happening. We were getting about 800 points less than we should do in Cinebench, which, depending on what processor you're using, 800 points can be quite a lot. So we should have been getting around about 8,900. It was getting about 8,000. So I was thinking, is it not getting enough power? Is the Cylon 700 watt absolutely a piece of crap? So swapped out the power supply for a 550 watt, exactly the same results. In fact, one of the power supplies, I can't remember which one, I've got the footage, but one of the power supplies actually came in with a lower result. So yeah, margin of error, other things running in the background, who knows? Anyway, long story short, this is still in there now, and we've managed to get the performance figures up a little. So we're at about 8,400, 8,500. So we're in spitting distance. This was one of the primary things which I thought is going to be, well, you look at a power supply, you think, yeah, cheap power supply is likely to be the issue. So it turned out it wasn't. So we took that one off the list. The next thing, which was a potential issue, which I don't even know where I put it. Where have I put it? Calf, what have you done? You've hidden it. Right. The next one was the Up Here cooler. Now this is the N1055 from Up Here, which, for those of you that have not seen our stuff before, our streams or videos, this actually rates really well on Amazon, but I've had 2 of these which had really uneven heat pipes, and the mounting bracket system isn't the best. So this was the original cooler I put in there because they wanted a bit of RGB bling, etc, etc. So I figured maybe it's the cooler, maybe the cooler's not doing what it's supposed to, as it did in my testing. I figured it should be fine. I tested it with, I think I tested it with a Ryzen 5 3600 or maybe my Ryzen 9 3900. I can't remember, it was a while back. But anyway, so I then swapped out the Up Here cooler for the legend that is the Freezer 34, which you can possibly just about see in there now. And this improved things a lot, about 10 degrees difference, maybe 15 at times. I have been playing with the settings, different boost frequencies, voltages, etc, etc. With that cooler, we were getting some pretty scary temperatures in excess of 75 degrees, which is not right. It shouldn't do that. Although ASUS boards do have a tendency to do that, and we are using ASUS boards, so yeah, etc, etc. So we put this in, and now the most it gets to, even running Cinebench and something like Unigine Heaven at the same time, it tops out about 62 degrees. So that is a fantastic result. So again, hats off to the good old Freezer 34 Esports Duo. This is it is really a really good cooler. I forget how good these coolers are. So that was another part of the puzzle. So we increased a little bit of frequency. We decreased rather some of the temperatures. The last part of the question, which I'm still not entirely sure on, is this. So this is ASUS's ROG Strix B450-F Gaming 2. This is the revised revision, obviously the B450F Gaming, better VRMs, etc, etc, updated BIOS, addressable RGB, etc, etc. So you'd think, in theory, this would be possibly one of the best possible solutions for a first generation Ryzen processor, the 1700X, which is why it was my natural choice. I've wanted a board which is going to be super stable, if the PC is going on to someone who's going to be doing video editing, the last thing I want is for the PC to be crashing, either midstream, editing, gaming, whatever. We don't want that. So I didn't want to cheap out on a board. I wanted a board with decent VRM setup and a little bit of reliability. So paid a little bit more, but I think this was the better choice. But for some reason, I don't know what it is, whether it's a BIOS update, I might need to do another BIOS update, but for some reason, the processor just still isn't doing what it's meant to, which is really bizarre because we've got some decent components on there. We've got, obviously we've tried various power supplies, we've got a really good cooler, we've got a decent motherboard, power supplies again, there doesn't seem to be any difference between them whatsoever, so I'm taking that out of the equation. We've got plenty of cooling, there's loads of air going through there, but for some reason this board is just either undervolting, overvolting, or just being basically a pain in the ass. And I don't think there's a fault with the board. I'm pretty sure there isn't, which is why I've been having the temperature tester out. So I'm actually, at some point when I get a bit more time, I'm going to go through the system, do some benchmarks on it, and actually go round and test every single diode, capacitor, VRM, choke, you name it. I'm going to go around the whole board and see if there's any particularly hot hotspots which are causing problems. I don't think the board is faulty. It seems to be working, and we've had Unigine Heaven and Cinebench run at the same time. It just seems really weird that I'm not getting the results I should be, which then led me to think about things like silicon degradation. The processor's been in use for a good 5 years now. I started using it when I upgraded from my Intel i7 2600K. I used it for ages, then CAF ended up using it in her PC for the last 2 or 3 years, and it seemingly has been fine, but I've never done any real harsh benchmarking on it to see if it is still doing what it should do. So yeah, that is where I'm at with the build at the moment. It's still not 100%. So if anyone out there has got that particular motherboard and they've experienced similar issues, please do let me know. I'll be extremely interested to hear what your thoughts, your opinions and all that kind of stuff are, because it's been just, I don't know, it seems weird that I've got what appears to be on paper decent parts. I should mention as well, also RAM wise, we're using the XPG Spectrix RGB. I think it's the D60, is it, Kath?
Sorry?
The Spectrix RAM, is it D60?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah, Spectrix D60 I think it is. We on our Discord recently, one of our users had some RAM they were wanting to get rid of, so I ended up buying a whole bunch of it. So DDR4 3200 CL16. So yeah, again, on paper it should be performing very well. It's well within the tolerances of the chip, or at least it seems to be. I might reduce the XMP down to 3000 and see if that improves things. Maybe it's the memory controller giving up a little bit early. I genuinely don't know. I still need more time with it, I think. And speaking of needing more time, I need more time with you guys, the viewers. So
It's all excited then.
not you, Kath. So let's say hello to some of you guys in the chat, because I've been quite rude so far. So I'll quickly scan through. I maybe won't read all of your questions and stuff quite yet. So got a family says, just going to listen, need to sleep. Yeah, I do as well. I'm absolutely shattered. Ugly Bob is with us as well. Nick Barnes says 4 AM. Hull is darkness falling already. Ugly Bob says same in Newcastle. We've got Patrick LaBelle says, oh, the meat is slowly cooking outside and it's 31 degrees C. Damn, wouldn't that be wonderful?
No, my ankles get big.
Yeah, Calf gets swollen ankles when it's too hot. Astro Inferno says, glad you made this video. Could you please give us your tips on case modding? I'm very new and looking into repurposing old cases. Yeah, that's definitely something we should be looking into. Repurposing old cases and making them more airflow optimized, I guess, would be something we should definitely look at. Paul Bakewell's with us. It says, hello all. Mark Berry says, evening all. John Sullivan as well. DJ Lifted says, hey techies. Billy K says, yo people. A Rally is with us as well. Dutch Jan says, ho hi everybody. Billy K, yep, said that one. Rick Hartzer says hi. Matthew Day's having his chicken and mushroom pie. Ooh.
My favourite.
Do like a decent chicken and mushroom pie. Really do. Welly Bob's with us. Says, even all, Unboxers United. How you doing, Welly Bob? Good evening to you, good sir. Patrick LaBelle, blah. Aleta's with us. Aleta. Where is it? Has that video gone out yet?
Which one?
The mouse.
No.
Ah. Aleta, we have your mouse captive in some... Where the hell is it? Oh no, it's up over there somewhere. Actually, where the hell is it? Oh no, there it is. Aleta, we've got your Red Dragon mouse and we've been putting that through its paces, and I can confirm, Red Dragon M711, very nice mouse. We like that a lot. Marco's with us and says, I bet he nailed the parts to the wall. I have nailed many parts to the wall, to be fair. I have done that.
Luckily, he hasn't drawn around them yet.
Yeah, I haven't drawn around... Oh, ooh, that's an idea. I could draw around them so I know where they go. Who else we got? Skystalker is with us, says hello world. Ja 2016. Tatch says hello there. Dutch Jan. David Aiken, our man in... I shouldn't say where. William Bodie is with us also. How you doing, William Bodie? Paul Lamont. Lamonte, possibly. I'm not too sure. David Thompson. James Brock as well. It says Category 1 storm on the way. Oh my god. Ooh. Yeah, it's getting it's the weather. The weather is weird at the moment. If well, our roof is partially repaired at the moment, and we've got some pretty heavy duty storms. But a Category 1 storm, that's...
But the roof is holding up.
Yeah, the roof is holding up.
So far.
Is Category 1 the good end?
I think that's the bad.
Category 5 or 6 is like... Timing it.
In it.
In it. Not sure. Skystalker says party at Mike's. Oh, we could do with a party. Ugly Bob says I shall be getting pink eye whilst drinking ass. Ah, dear. He's still going. Bourbon and Coke is Paul Lamont. That sounds good. James Brock says, oh, in Star Trek movie being one. Nick Barnes says Kim Cattrall. Oh, yeah, Kim Cattrall was in the in Police Academy also. That is one of her early roles actually. Phil Black says, evening folks. How you doing, Phil? Mark Point. Pelpsern says, sup, Mike? What is up yourself, Pelpsern? Have I even said that right? I don't know. Maybe.
Did I miss saying hi to Paul?
Mark Point, I'm not sure. Mark Point says, so ended up buying a new motherboard, was right about the B550 motherboard die-in. Oh no, that sucks. It's always bad when you got to buy a new board. Sir Soppy of Bull says, good evening. Astro Inferno, can you actually reverse the Molex to get 5 volts? Yeah, I think I kind of, well, yeah, it's, I looked at the connector and I might still give it a go because I do actually like these fans and they do look good and they are obviously designed to go in it. So as a cost saving measure, which you guys know what I'm like when it comes to cost saving, potentially I can do. It's a very odd setup. There's so many different wires, like this, the main, or one of the fans. So this has got 4 pins coming out of it. So clearly one of them is going to be a ground. One of them is going to be a RGB data. One of them is going to be 5 volts for the RGB, leaving one more pin, which in theory should be the 12 volt for the actual fan itself. So I don't know, it's really, it is one of the possibly the worst designs I've seen in terms of actually being able to take it apart. I'm not an electronics expert, I really am not, and you guys probably know that very well. But then the 4 fans, the 4 leads go into the other fan, then come back out the other side, and then go into the other one. And they're all kind of daisy chained with this weird spaghetti junction stuff going on. And out of that spaghetti junction also comes a 5 volt addressable RGB header to go to a motherboard. So I don't want to do anything wrong because potentially I could fry a board, and that is, yeah, that is bad. And actually, the 5 volt addressable RGB, even though it's got 3 pins on it, is only actually using 2 of them. So what would be the 2 pins? I'm guessing it would be 5 volt from the motherboard and the RGB data. And then the other pin is the ground and is sharing a ground with the Molex possibly. I don't know. I'm tempted, I might send him to Adamant IT and get him to have a look at them and see if he can make head nor tail of them. Because he's the resident guru here in the United Kingdom. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Ugly Bob says, just please you didn't lose any fingers. No, I am fully still digited right up. Phelpsman says, reminds me of Lanley Cool Land Cool. Yep, it does. Riley says, looks a rather good job, Mike. Thank you very much. The fans actually do look really decent in there because they're kind of... Oh, crap, ran over me mic lead again. Always do that. Because there's a kind of like a depth to them, we'll turn it around, you can probably see it a bit better. The fans have got a real chunky depth to them, which is all like transparent, so yeah, it looks really good. I'm actually really pleased how that's turned out. O'Reilly says, if I ever need a case modded, Mike, you're getting paid. Thank you. Rick says, looks good, Mike. Thank you. To be honest with you, like I can't really take much of the credit. Literally all I've done is taken a sharp knife and dragged it down the side of a case, not particularly evenly, as you could see there. But fortunately, the bits which are not great, actually that side was all right. That was pretty much bang on. That side went a bit skew because I slipped and almost took my leg off. So yeah, I can't really take much credit for it. It's literally just trimming along a piece of cable, a piece of plastic rather. Yes, so yeah, there you go. Someone's talking about the Windows activation. Oh, the motherboard. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they will be attached. Sometimes you can be lucky and reactivate, but not always. If it's attached to your Microsoft account, you've got a better chance of doing it, but not always. Or sometimes, actually, if you don't re-register, after about 2 or 3 days of rebooting, it will magically just come back anyway and reactivate it. It's bizarre like that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not always, but often it will do. The GTX 1070 is 150 watt. Is that? I thought it was more than that. Oh well. Goes to show what I know. Oh yeah, Kath says, yeah, we paid £4.29 for a Windows 10 Pro key today. Yes, we did, for the little Ryzen 5 3400G system, which is now hopefully being enjoyed, fingers crossed, by somebody making the most of it. It was a real shame, that 3400G system. It was literally just sat in a box, looking lonely. And it really needed a home and someone to enjoy it. I'm sad it's gone, actually. But it means we can buy something different, and then buying something different is good because then you guys get a video out of it. So it's all part of the rotational wheel of YouTube. O'Reilly says, yeah, the Freezer 34 Duo is probably one of the best coolers I've seen, bang for the buck. It really truly is. If you can get a good deal on a Freezer 34 eSports Duo, there isn't much that can touch it really, apart from possibly a 240mm AIO. And then that's going to be in a different price bracket altogether. Ugly Bob sent us a £4.29 super chat and says, have a Windows 10 key on Ugly Bob. Thank you, Ugly Bob. Oh, bless him. That was very kind. For those of you that are not sure what the hell's going on, if you're new here, yeah, the RGB light comes on if there's a super chat. So if you send a super chat, or if I'm wittering on uncontrollably and you want some diversion, send a super chat or a super sticker. Kath has to get up and turn the lights off, which is good for her backside and our diet in general. And obviously you get the RGB lights, and it's off. It's died. Hello, McFly. Ah, dear. Thank you, Bob. Callum Lee Montgomery says, I was about to watch if you watched Adamant. Oh, you're about to ask if you watched Adamant ID. Yes. Yeah, I quite often watch Adamant IT. I quite enjoy.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, I quite enjoy Graham's streams. on a Saturday. It's normally when I'm doing something like catching up on emails and stuff like that, or just taking five. So quite nice to have his stuff on the background and just listening to him and Care Dog having a chat. They seem to be decent guys. Although he says hecking way too much. That, I think we need to address that. Welly Bob says, remember to add a like to the video. I second that motion. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
How many watchers we've got? How many viewers?
Bob, how many concurrent viewers have we got? Oh, it's not changed.
It's Bob's favourite number.
Oh dear. Okay, so... Well, actually, what I'm going to do is, while I'm just going to get a drink or something, I think, possibly. Yeah, I am definitely going to do that. I might clear the desk. I'm going to stick Cinebench on this PC in the background.
Mute it.
And Cinebench is okay. So what's running in the background currently? Oh, what's that? Dismiss, and turn on. Yeah, whatever. So let's see what Cinebench score we get now. I actually, hands up in the chat, or just the F in the chat, I don't care which. Who hates ASUS's Armory Crate? ASUS make many, many fine products. Armory Crate, sadly, is not one of them. I hate it. I genuinely hate it.
Do you want a glass?
Oh yeah, please, yeah. Thank you. So, I'm just going to do a single pass on that and see what it comes up with. See how it goes. Astro Inferno. That's hard for me to say as a Bristolian because we always try and put L on the end of things, like paracetamol. Oh no, that's got an L. Anyway, see, did it again. It's difficult to do. Dutch Jan's got an F in the chat already. Ugly Bob's, all the Fs. David Aiken says, I hate all motherboard software. It is. I gotta say, of all the ones I've used, the best one so far is the MSI's MSI Center. Not the Dragon Center, because that was a pile of crap. But the MSI Center is considerably better. And I think the worst one is probably ASRock. ASRock software, I think, was designed by someone in kindergarten. They just threw a load of like code on the floor and then decided what they wanted to do and just said, there, just put an ASRock logo on it, it'll be fine. It's absolutely awful software. So hopefully you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining us in some of the finest ass this evening. Oh. What a great sound that is. And the RGB glass is in effect. Let's see if we can do this with minimal head. Look at the colour of that beverage. No, we're getting some serious head on us. Bob, don't make me laugh while I'm pouring beverages. Astro Inferno says, is there a big difference between two 200mm fans and three 120mm in terms of cooling? And which you say is best performance per dB? Is there a difference in the hum? My personal preference is always going to be... Got a head on that. That was ridiculous. I am rubbish at my job. Two 200mm fans is my preference for sure. And thank you, Kath. Kath was out in the kitchen doing things, so she couldn't do the button. Stuart Cleary is going in a super chat. €10 says, Mike, get yourself some nice ass. Got some nice ass right over there.
Oh, Flame. Do you know what he said about
I wasn't Flame. Sorry, back to the fans, yeah. My personal preference is always two 200mm fans. The noise profile is much better because the fans are spinning slower. There's less of a pitch to the fans as well, definitely. Now, obviously, depending on what fans you have, what fans you're using, the speed, RPMs, etc., then that is going to come into effect. But for me personally, I believe two 200mm fans will push more air than three 120s, even though in theory three 120s is what, 360 mils, yeah, against 400. So technically there's a little bit more. Normally 200 mil fans are a little bit blocked off on the front, so there is a little bit of resistance there. I prefer 200 mil fans. I just find them quieter. Because we film in this room and there's PCs, obviously we want to keep the noise floor down to an absolute minimum wherever possible. So slower spinning, quieter fans are much, much better in my opinion. Thank you, O'Reilly. $5 super chat. Sorry, £5 super chat. My mistake. And says, "Are you sure that is ASUS and not Iron Brew? It looked orange." It does. I think it's down to the RGB. How do we turn the RGB off? Can I press the button on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Hopefully, when the lights come back on, that will look slightly more, less like it will do later. It's got a kind of orangey glow to it. Put it by a light, see it's not as orange as me. Cheers, my friends. James Brock says, "I like MSI Afterburner." I do. But I find it a real pain in the ass to set up. I do it reasonably often, and I always end up getting to the point where it's like, just show the bloody graphs. Please show me the graphs, and it won't show the graphs. I'm obviously doing something wrong. Matthew Day, do you want a flake in that? Yeah, that is the Boddington's advert, isn't it? Nice one. Callum Lee Montgomery says, "What about the 180mm fans in that new Fractal case mic?" Actually, let's go off topic a little bit. I would actually say I don't like Fractal's new case. That is going to be probably a very one of those things where people will potentially disagree or may even agree. I don't know.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, unsubbed, cancel culture. It's yeah. There's something about that case that I think is going to be... It's going to be another Tomahawk. The Fractal... I don't even know. Was it Typhoon or something it's called? No, not Typhoon. What's it called? Hurricane? Something along those lines anyway. It's something to do with airflow. But I think it is going to become another one of those Tomahawk type products where Steve at Gamers Nexus likes it, so therefore the rest of the tech industry has to like it. Or you're just wrong. Funny enough, I was watching on Adamant IT's stream today, and he wants one. Now, he likes the look of it, in which case, absolutely fine. If you're buying it for cool points, let's say, because someone on the internet said it's good, that's the wrong reason to buy it. Buy it because you like the look of it. To me personally, I think it's extremely overpriced for what it is. I find it hard to pay over £100 for a case. I don't think I would. I don't really see the need to. But if you've got plenty of cash and you like a look of a case and it's a specific case and you're like, I'd want that case, then you make your choice and you do it. If you're looking to make a build as a decent build and you want to put a decent case with it, I think there are far, far more better options. Corsair's 4000D. 4000X, all the 4000 range, Lian Lee's 215 obviously, GameMax F15. It depends how much you want to spend. The Landcool 2, all those kinds of cases. I've always said the Fantex P400A, more or less, yeah, okay. But those are all really good options and actually perform very similarly to that particular case. You can put a lot of stuff in it, but there are going to be some issues where some things won't fit in it, such as it says you can put a 360mm rad on the floor, which you can't. Yeah, there are drawbacks to that design, there definitely is. But if you like the look of it, and if you want RGB as well, then it's going to cost you a ton extra. If you want tempered glass, that's going to cost you extra. So you've got like a base price of around about £155 with just black and solid side panels, and a couple of normal fans. If that works for you, absolutely fine. For me personally, I don't see the appeal. I really don't. No doubt loads of people will buy it and it will be popular as all hell. I did actually watch Kit Guru's review of it, and Leo wasn't overly impressed. He liked the design, it's something a little bit new, but to actually work in, it was a little bit of a pain in the backside to use it as Fractal have suggested with all the extra cooling. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot of money for what it is. David Aikens says, I love the new Fractal case. 80 quid too much though. Welly Bob says, Fractal Torrent, too pricey. 80 quid max, but Fractal build quality is good, but not like 150 plus. No, that's it. If you want the 180mm RGB fans on the front as well, I think that costs an extra 50 quid, which is the price of almost the Game Max F15, which has got those fans anyway. So you get the fans and the case for that. Bizarre. Trev Good. How you doing, Trev? Says, hello Mike, hope you're doing well. Yeah, not doing too bad. And enjoying some fine ass beverage. And Kieran Atkinson is also with us. How you doing? Simon Arden. 4000D doesn't fit a 360 rad on the top, so upped to the 5000D, then spent a fortune on a case fans. 3 months later, I've moved the rad to the front, though. That is part and parcel of the PC kind of the enthusiast space, that we buy stuff, we try stuff, then we learn from our mistakes and hopefully don't make them again. Although I generally tend to, because I'm a cheapskate and I buy cheap stuff all the time. Alessa says, I'm liking my new Be Quiet case. It's been fun working out the water cooling for it. I miss having new stuff all the time, case-wise. Seems to be a real drought in new design cases. I guess they've done everything they can, so there's not really much left over. I saw a question then and I was going to respond. Oh yeah, Kieran. Also Mike, any experience with Cooler Master AIOs? Oh dear. My Capellix is getting RMA due to an extremely loud pump whine. Yeah, I bought 4 of the Cooler Master Liquid Light 240mm. They had some crazy deal on Amazon ages ago and they were like 20 quid each. So I think I sold one on Facebook Marketplace.
Angry Dude had one, didn't he?
One of them leaked. Possibly 2 leaked, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Angry Doge had one of them in his PC.
He had the leaking one, didn't he? And had to bring it
Oh yeah, he had the leaking one. His leaked, so he had to bring it back and I gave him another one, so I RMA'd that one. But literally, I opened the box and there was green fluid everywhere. It was obviously done in transit, so yeah, that sucked. Patrick LaBelle sent us a $7 Canadian super chat and says, have a nice evening, guys. Time to eat is coming fast. Time to eat is coming fast over. Didn't understand that, but anyway, I get the idea.
It's time to eat soon.
Patrick, enjoy your food, you jammy sod. 31 degrees Celsius, having a barbecue. Mother, I need a bleep machine. And actually, what was I going to say? Dutch Jan's, Sharkoon TG5 and a 360mm AIO. Push-pull, nice. I need to see some more stuff from Sharkoon. We haven't seen much from Sharkoon recently. They've been very quiet. A lot of the manufacturers recently, because of obviously the human malware, shipping new designs and all that kind of stuff. Because, actually, I'll revert back to another comment.
Mike White said he's walked into a poor man's 1970s disco.
Yes, it is, yeah. We also upload our videos to a content host called Odyssey, which some of you may have seen already. If not, you can head over to Odyssey. How's it spelled, Kath?
ODYSEE.
ODYSEE.com. And basically most of the YouTubers are kind of thinking that YouTube is going to be doing things. So people have gone on to Odyssey and loads of people are uploading.
I'm talking of Big Brother, you better say your Facebook page is gone.
Oh yeah.
Somehow. Yeah,
also I should mention as well, along with other things going, our Facebook page is gone. For some reason, I had 73 copyright infringements on my Facebook page for Mike's Unboxing.
Sharing your own videos.
Sharing basically pictures that I take here and sharing my own videos. And all of the copyrights were from Apple Incorporated. Not entirely sure what they were, but anyway, the Mike's Unboxing Facebook page has now gone, and you never know when YouTube's going to go as well, so there's always Odyssey, so should you wish to follow us on there, you can do. It's actually quite a nice interface, it works alright, and yeah, you get the general gist of it. What was I going to say? I've completely gone off now. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Somebody commented on Odyssey, because you can put comments much like you can on YouTube. Somebody said about the fans we reviewed recently, about saying, it was the PC cooler ones actually, which a lot of you have been interested in, so thank you for watching that. But a couple of people on Odyssey said essentially the same thing about why are we supporting Chinese sweatshops who produce these Chinese goods and all that kind of stuff, which I guess is massively generalising. The point I think is, or what I was trying to get across, and I don't know how I've got onto this, I've gone completely off topic now, I've lost my train of thought altogether, but pretty much everything is made in China. Now whether it's made in
fully in China, or
a good place in China or a bad place in China, who knows? It's extremely difficult to know what you're doing or where you're buying from. But being that pretty much everything electrical and semiconductors and all that kind of stuff comes from China or that general area, or parts of it, so silicon or wafers, whatever it is, pretty much everything, like you buy an iPhone, designed in California, made in China, or partially assembled in China. It says it on the back of the phone, for God's sake. So it's actually really difficult to buy anything which isn't made or partially made from China. So I was trying to defend it, and then I was thinking, actually, can I think of any product which is specifically not made or made using components from China? And I've drawn a massive blank. There isn't many. If there is, let me know in the chat, because I don't know. I was thinking to start with Arctic products, maybe, because they're German. A lot of stuff comes from Germany. Noctua, I was thinking, yeah, Noctua is probably a good shout, but looking at the parts lists, a lot of the stuff that Noctua use, such as cables, bearings, etc., are made in China. So, there's not a lot you can do about it. I don't know where I was going with that. I really don't. Oh yeah, Chaos. Yeah, cases. So, looking at new stuff, new products, new stuff, pretty much everything comes out of China. So because obviously China's been screwed basically because of the human malware and shipping and containers and all that kind of stuff, we're not getting anything, or not getting anything particularly new. So that's what took me back to the Fractal case. It's nice to see something a little bit different. Regardless of the price and the fact that I think it's way, way too expensive, but still, it's nice to see something a little bit different. Although, essentially it looks like Fractal have just gone, hello, Cooler Master, can we borrow your design please? Or Game Max or whatever. But anyway. There we go. So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Cooler Master AIOs. Personally, the failure rate that I had with the Master Liquid 240mm AIOs was relatively high, kind of 50%. Which
Name's not made in China, he's made in Berlin.
He was, that's true.
Didn't like that.
Cooler Master have got a name for leaky AIOs. Probably unjustified, because they made some really cheap ones with some pretty bad components, trying to cut costs, and they pay for it dearly. Very much like Gigabyte with their 750 watt and 850 watt power supplies that have been bundled with graphics cards, which no doubt, unless you've been living under a stone, you'd have heard about. Also the power supplies that spontaneously combust or spark or are basically just not suitable for the job they're intended to do. So I think what I'm essentially trying to say is, and I said this actually on Graham's stream a little bit earlier, when you're looking at brands, and if they have a bad product, it happens. Every company at some point is going to have a bad product. Some may have slightly more than others, some may not. So the thing to do, a lot of people are saying, don't buy Cooler Master. It's cheap rubbish. Don't buy Gigabyte, it's cheap rubbish. Yes, to some extent that does hold true, but don't boycott an entire brand because of maybe 1, 2, or maybe even a handful of products. Keep an eye on the brand. If they're getting repeatedly bad reviews and things are coming out in the media that, yes, they're going downhill fast, then obviously when you're making your buying decision, you take that into consideration. But don't just do a blanket ban. So say for instance with the Gigabyte thing, yes, the power supplies that they've done on that particular level were not up to this task, and they were mismarketed, misinformed, and they've not particularly done a very good job of the PR management after it. But that doesn't mean that you should avoid Gigabyte altogether. They still make some of the best motherboards on the market. They still do some fantastic screens as well. Some of their monitors are exceptionally good, albeit a little bit pricey. But yeah, don't buy into the whole cancel culture thing. It is an absolute... If you buy into cancel culture, that is the end of everything as we know it. It really, really is. Because all it takes is a few people to get on board a certain bandwagon and cancel something, and that's it. That company, that person, that program, that whatever it is, will not recover from that. So don't be a part of it. Take reviews as what they are. They are informative advice, or people casting an opinion. So look at a power supply. Yes, in the Gigabytes thing, Steve from Gamers Nexus done some really good testing on it, and they found lots of flaws in it. But don't turn around and say, I'm never going to buy Gigabyte again, it's cheap crap. Because that isn't the case. So please don't fall into the trap of getting involved with cancel culture because one thing, or one person, or one company, or one product has made a mistake. Even if they handled it badly, which, in fairness, Gigabyte haven't handled it the best. They tried to make excuses for what they did, which is not what they should have done. But everyone makes mistakes, and I personally believe that everyone should be allowed to try and make amends from that mistake. So yeah, anyway, party political broadcast over. Simon Arden says Gigabyte graphics cards are bloody good though. To be fair, I've only had 2 Gigabyte graphics cards, and both of them are absolutely great. Yeah, not the biggest or widest selection of products there.
MB asked, caught your review on the Techware VXR. Did it hold up well?
MB says, caught your review on the Techware VXR. Did it hold up well? Aesthetically, it seems a steal at 70 quid, minus the cost of all those fans. The Techware VXR is currently down there. The only reason it's not there still is because I've been doing work on that one and I can't fill the desk up and film and all that stuff.
But we use it all the time.
The Techware VXR is in use daily, literally daily.
Look at our videos.
Look at the videos. It's in the background of pretty much every video we've made since I got the case. I don't think there's a video that doesn't have it in the background. I'm just trying to think. No, I don't think there is one. And there's a good reason for that, because it's a bloody good case. It looks amazing. I really do like the look of it. And again, if you give me the option of the Techware VXR or the Fractal Torrent or whatever it's called, I would actually take the VXR over it. Again, probably not a particularly popular opinion. It is my opinion, and you're more than welcome to ignore it or disagree with it. That is life. I'm not right, you're not wrong. Yeah, that works, yeah. Yeah, for 70 quid, that is an absolute shit ton of case for the money. It really, truly is. Very easy to work on. It looks, in my opinion, it looks great. The cats love sleeping on it, yeah, as Cap said. It's a great design. For 70 quid, I don't think you can do much better. I really don't. It's a really, really nice case. It doesn't suit everybody because it's quite wide, but if you've got the room for it on a desk or on whatever it is you've got your PC on, highly, highly recommended. The airflow is really good. Temperatures are really good. It's extremely flexible. You can put 360mm rad in the side. You can't put it in the top or bottom, I found. But why would you want to? Put fans in there, have your AIO on the back. It just works really well. And to be honest with you, as soon as that PC's done and dusted with, the VXR is going straight back up there. Be under no illusion, that is going back up there. And until another company comes along with a similar design, which kind of blows me away as much as that did, yeah, it's going to be there for the long haul. It really will be. Cheapskate Fishing, nice name. I always think you should get a power supply with twice the wattage of your system demands. So if your system is typically uses 500 watts, then get a 1000 watt power supply. If you can afford to do it, go for it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Tech Check says, hi Mike, it's a steal for the price, Techware VXR. It is. They've reduced it down to $69.99, which I think is an absolute steal. It really is. At £100, which is what it was $99.99 I think, or $89.99. When you get to that £100 point, you're looking at it and thinking, well, I could spend half of that on a cheaper case and maybe double up on my RAM, or get the next tier of graphics card, or maybe get the next tier of CPU. Those are real tangible benefits. When it comes to a case, yes, you're looking at it pretty much all the time. It is going to be either by the side of you, or next to you, or in my case behind you. Is it worth spending that much money? I don't know.
Z447 asked, are you planning to do a build in the IONZ Taiyo? Do you want to say it?
Yes, Z447 says, I would also agree. Never been a fan of the fractal cases, to be honest with you. I had the fractal define CTG, and it was fine. It was a nice case, but there wasn't anything about it which kind of made me think, I love this case, I really want to keep it. It was fine. It was, yeah, fine. But like most stuff, again, because Fractal spent a load of money working, I'm careful what I'm saying now, a lot of money working with YouTubers in that field. So you've got like your J's 2 cents, you've got your Bitwit, you've got Linus to some extent. Who else was there? Paul's Hardware, and no doubt there's others as well, but those are the ones which kind of come to mind. They were, I'm not going to say shilling, because they weren't, but they were being heavily sponsored by Fractal. So when you got people in YouTube of that kind of caliber, with that many views and hit counts, if you're repeatedly seeing Fractal, and you're seeing all these builds, it is going to have a lasting effect. That's how marketing works. The more you hear a name, or the more you see a product, it gets embedded in there. So then when you go out to the shops, or you go to your Best Buy, or Newegg, or you're on Amazon, those things are subconsciously planted in your head. That's how advertising works. That is why advertising is the thing, why companies spend millions and millions of pounds promoting products and getting celebrities and what have you to promote their products, because if you see a celebrity with a product and the name gets repeated enough, it becomes part of your brain, and that is then going to kind of not sway, but it's going to be a pointer. It's a subliminal can't even say it. It's a subliminal message. Though when you go out looking, you'll be like flicking through the catalogues. Oh, Fractal, and you're thinking, J's 2 cents, Bitwit, or whoever.
When we used to
and it resonates.
We used to order from the ones with the least amount of reviews. Didn't we?
Anyway, that's enough about that. We did, yeah.
And you'd get your order quicker, and they'd make more effort to get more reviews.
Z447 says, Mike's unboxing reviews and how to. That's me. Are you still planning to do a full build in the IONZ Taiyo? Yes. There it is. It's finished. Almost. It's partially finished. We actually started recording the video yesterday, doing the build, and since then, if you haven't seen the beginning of this stream, you'll understand why. It's gone through various iterations, and we've taken bits out of it and cut the fans out, etc, etc. Yeah. I think in hindsight, possibly, I would have, if it comes down to the choice between the IONZ Taiyo and possibly something like the GameMax F15, I think I would possibly spend a little more, if there is a very small price difference, going with the F15. I think I genuinely would. Or potentially a little bit more again and going with the Lianli 215. Purely because of those fans. Those fans, they're fine. They do what they're meant to do. They work. But if you want to have that granular control, and I think I said it in the review, if you need that granular control or you want your fans to be really quiet, then yeah, go with the 215 or the GameMax F15. Yes, Kath?
The question above.
The question above.
Nawaf.
Nawaf. Yeah, anyway. I've probably pronounced that wrong. I do apologise.
What kind of case?
What kind of case should I use if I'm in a dusty environment? If you're in a dusty environment, actually this ties in nicely. You want to use a case with, still got good airflow, but with larger fans. So then you can set the larger fans to spin much, much slower. So that way you're not like a vacuum cleaner. So if you imagine you've got 120mm fans, they're going to have to spin at maybe 900 to 1000 RPM, which generates a lot of force and positive pressure. If you're using bigger fans, like 200mm ones, you could probably run those at about 600, maybe 650, which isn't going to create a lot of static pressure, but is still going to move air. So you're not going to be pulling in those dust particles as much with the static pressure that you get with a 120 or 140, or 180 as it case is now. So yeah, in a dusty environment, and potentially something with fans either top and bottom, because dust particles obviously float around the air. So if you've got a case like this one, it's very easy for dust to just go dunk, straight in the front of the case. If you've got fans on the bottom like the VXR, the dust has to go, fall down, then be sucked in 90 degrees, then along, then another 90 degrees upwards, which is an extremely difficult thing for dust to do, especially those heavier particles. So airflow is, the airflow path itself is something to look at, filtration is something to look at, and fan sizes. It's difficult to say really which of those I would go with more, but those are what you should be looking at. Thank you, Glenn, from our Discord, and it says, Manez. Thank you for sending Manez 420 blazing. I like ass, good. Welly Bob says the F15 fans are better? Christ. Are better defo than the IONZ. I speak from experience. Yeah, the F15, if it wasn't for the fact I had an F15 case, I would buy another. But it's pointless because I can't review it then because I've already reviewed it. Which is always a shame because I find these products which are really cool and I think I should just buy stuff the same and get the same performance. Oh dear. Ugly Bob says more shilling than a 1960s collection box, a church collection box. Yeah. Ugly Bob says I stopped watching Linus because of all the shilling. It's Kath and I are extremely lucky that the large majority of the audience are what I would consider to be critical thinkers. So you guys and girls out there watching, you're watching this for entertainment purposes or for an opinion or whatever, but ultimately you're of sound mind and you'll make up your own damn minds regardless of what I say. But you're looking for an opinion, so you'll balance that against other opinions and then make a decision. I think because of Linus's popularity, there's an awful lot of people on there that potentially know absolutely diddly squat. And they're just sucking it all in, enjoying it all. Oh, I got to buy a Ridge wallet, all that kind of stuff. It is going to be one of those things, and obviously Mike's unboxing t-shirts available in the video description. But yeah, Linus has gone a little bit too OTT on the advertising. Every video, from what I can tell, is sponsored by possibly one, if not two, maybe even three different companies, which is a bit much for most people. And you don't want to be bombarded with it. Yeah, a subtle thing, but Linus does kind of in-your-face subtle and kind of adds it in as almost like a comedic skit, which some people find very endearing. Like, I'll be honest with you, to some extent I do, finding how they do it. And of all the creators on YouTube, I will, hand on heart, wrong side, hand on heart, I will say that Jay's 2 cents is possibly the best at shilling in the business, because it's extremely enjoyable. In fact, some of Jay's 2 cents is shilling for World of Warships and iFixit. They're possibly the best adverts on the internet, but they're so well done and so enjoyable that you don't care. It's actually, some of the times, if it's really depressing shit that he's talking about, the adverts are the best bit of the video, which is saying something. But it depends how you do it. Like, you can advertise anything you want.
And people have got to earn a living.
Yeah, everyone's got to earn a living. So if someone comes along and says, "Hey, Mr. Mike, would you like money for making a video?" You have to say yes to some extent. Obviously, there's going to be issues sometimes where you say, "Well, no, I don't like the product," or "I don't believe in the product," or whatever. Or, "Can I do a bad review if it sucks?" If they say yes to that and they want to give you money, then hell yeah, bring it on. Most of the companies probably won't go along that line. So you have to promote products in a relatively popular or positive light.
Get paid for our videos by now.
We don't get paid for our videos. I think I'm having to think now. We did get paid a very small amount for premium CD keys for doing 4 videos.
Oh, yeah.
But we still get affiliate commission, so that's kind of the same thing, but it is worth doing. We buy it, we use it ourselves, so we don't really affiliate or shill out too much for people unless it's something we actually live, use, and believe in. So yeah, that is what it is.
And like I said, Skystalker can vouch for the customer service. So
Yeah, the customer service for premium CD keys is fantastic. It really is.
Right, can you...
Rick Hartzer says, "I have gym fans embedded in my head thanks to Mike."
Okay, you're above that anyway.
These aren't gym fans now, they're Wimbos.
No, he said that's because you were saying people putting it in your head.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So far behind.
Sorry, I am far behind. This isn't scrolling.
Callum asks, do you think you'll review the Techware Forge M2?
Possibly. Callum, I can't even see it. Where is it on there?
You haven't got time on yours, have you?
No. What about?
2010. And Kyle Ireland.
I can't see. The Techware Forge M, or the Techware Forge L Mark II. If Techware get in touch with us, then yeah, definitely I will, because I really like Techware stuff. I've got their the Techware Exo mouse. Finally got it back from George. Actually, I'm gonna try and grab it without breaking stuff. This is gonna. Kath, don't trust me. There's that one up there. Top.
That one.
Yep. Very difficult.
Should I break it?
Yeah. Now this mouse, George has had this. He broke his mouse, which was a Logitech G502, I think, Hero or something. And he's like, "I don't know what I can do. I need a mouse." It's like, "George, I've got a freaking YouTube channel. I have mice. There are many, many mice. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 bloody mice. You could borrow a mouse." So he's like, "Well, I quite like the Glorious Model O." It's like, "George, that is a Glorious Model O wrapped up in a Techware logo. Please use it." So he's been using that for ages until he actually went out and bought a Glorious Model O. I don't know why. I really don't understand why. But yeah, if you've not used one of these before, the Glorious Model O, if you're looking to spend a little bit more on a mouse, Techware Exo Elite or the Glorious PC thing, which you're not allowed to say anymore, Model O, great mice, they really are. Although, I quite like the Endgame Gear ones, which is possibly an unpopular choice because they don't really get a lot of love on the internet, but I actually really like them. Ah, dear. Anyway, moving on. Ugly Bob says, well, he does have a random HD gaming hat. Yes, I have actually. David Aiken plot twist. Mike is sponsored by Jay and Linus. I know. I can't believe I've been talking about them. But it's tech, isn't it? Hello?
Kyle Ireland. He's asked this twice, I've seen though.
Sorry, Kyle Ireland.
I saw your InWin B1 review. You said
Oh, yeah?
that it came with an EU plug. If I was to
Yes.
use this case in the UK, do you know the plug type? Is it a C5 Cloverleaf?
Ooh, the InWin B1 comes with... It's not the cloverleaf, it's the one with the the 3 cloverleafs. I'm not even sure what they call it. What you can do, if it comes with the EU plug, or it comes with the wrong plug for your region, literally just chop the end off and put a plug on it. It's only got the 2 or 3 connectors in there, like the live, neutral, and the whatever the other one is. You can change it over really easily, or just get a EU adapter plug. But you can get the cables pretty easily. They're the same sort of thing as you get on laptop chargers, which I can't unplug because my laptop is running the stream. I'm not too sure what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on a second. Clover leaf plug UK. So it's a C5 cloverleaf. If that makes sense. Yeah, you can pick them up on eBay for like £2. Yeah, C5 cloverleaf is the one you want, not the C3, which I think is the 2.
C5?
Oh, did he say C5? Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, there you go. Golf says, have I missed the opportunity to say, Mike, I take it you like ass Mike? You did. You missed out on that. If you'd have posted that in the comments, I could have read that and you could have said that.
Bacon, right the mouse. That's my little boy.
What's where I'm losing track of time.
David Aiken, you've taken a mouse from a young lad's room.
No, I haven't taken the mouse from a young lad's
I
room.
hope you've given it a good wipe over.
Yeah, I have. I did clean it actually with, funnily enough, Win's Dash and Display Cleaner. This stuff is amazing. This makes stuff, like especially plastics, it makes them look like new. This is my lifesaver. So I can actually get a mouse, I can use it for probably a week or two and get all greasy stuff on it, pizza juice and ass juice, all that kind of stuff on there. Little spritz with the old Win's glass and display cleaner. Comes up like absolute new. It's brilliant stuff. Oh dear.
But still my little boy.
Carl Arlen says, oh God, good, I found, no, oh good. I found the right plug then, thanks. Yes.
He wasn't that enthusiastic as you started off.
He was less enthusiastic. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute, I'm going to say it, it's been a prick of a week, it really has.
Kevin Bloody Wilson.
I had to go to work early on Wednesday, which I had to get up at some ungodly hour. The day before, I think, or the same day, George had to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So my sleep pattern is all over the place. It's, yeah, it's not been good.
You had to go to work one day, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to go to work on Wednesday, and going to work on a Wednesday, doing a full day when I haven't done a full day in, well, pre-COVID. It's been ridiculous. Oh, and actually, ladies and gentlemen of the jewellery, did you notice that my video on the Corona fans video actually had a Corona fact check thing on it on YouTube? The world's AI, which is supposed to be the best in the world of learning and working out what the hell is going on, that they can take away bad images and do all these kinds of things, and they think that PC cooling Corona RGB fans are something that should be fact checked with COVID.
But you'll get it on here now.
Now I'm going to get it on here. Thanks, Bob. Again, bastard. Oh, dear Lord. Matthew Barton, what do you find best to clean a monitor screen? Boom, ding, ding. This. Find a link, Kath, please, somewhere.
What's it for?
Win's Dash and Display Cleaner.
haven't got that greasy stuff in it, has it? Like,
No, it's got absolutely no silicone in it whatsoever.
I hate that.
So it cleans very, very, very well.
Dash.
It's good gear. And it's safe for LCDs and plastics and stuff, which is what it's made for. James Brock says, working is better than not working, Mike. Tell me about it. I've got multiple jobs. Too many jobs. John Sullivan says, I felt rubbish all week, then Sean Locke passed away. Oh, yeah, poor Sean Locke. We like Sean Locke, we do. Genuinely. For a long time. Z447 says there's only one thing that can solve a bad week, Mike, and that is sink a few more beers. Z447, thank you for your comment, and I'm going to take you up on that. Ugly Pop says, no, my dear, Bastard. Mr. Bastard. I miss... Oh, that's another one we've lost, which is a real shame. Can't remember his name now. What was his name? Eric Bastard? Oh.
Are you talking to me?
Not Aid Edmondson. His colleague in Bottom. Brick Mail.
That's the one.
See, I had to close my eyes to think then. That's how hard I had to delve into the back.
Right, sorry.
Ah, dear.
What was that stuff called again?
Mike White says, how much are Wins paying you? They're not paying me at all. Literally,
Dash and what?
they are paying me 0 pence. But if they want to send me stuff, actually, I do buy this, and to be fair, just to prove that I'm not shilling, let me stand up a minute. I'll make sure I still can. Whee. There we go. So that is the old one, which ran out, and I actually did go and buy another one because that is how much I like it.
Paid for it.
Well, Calf paid for it technically, yeah.
You were going to use Car.
And this one, actually, no, that's a Tenzi one. I'm lying. I'm lying to the viewers, Calf.
What's it called? Dash and what?
Dash and display cleaner.
Display.
Yeah, that was the Tenzi wheel cleaner. Don't buy that. Oh my god, who put all those boxes there? It's probably me. There we go. There's the slightly empty one. There's the full one. It's not entirely empty. Yeah, there's a little bit left in there. I could have poured that in there. That would have been the sensible solution. But sensible, I'm afraid, my friends, is long departed. I need a cloth now.
Did you spill it everywhere?
Well, I didn't spill it, I just poured it, but yeah, the effect was the same. Oh, actually, I could do my laptop screen while I'm at it. There we go.
Oh, you're ending the stream now.
Yeah, if I accidentally end the stream, I do apologise. It happens. Actually, it's about time I clean this screen. Absolutely, completely safe on LCDs, TFTs. If you're using it in a car, which is what it's meant for, really, it's fine for those like sat-nav displays and your radio displays. Because, you know, we've all done it, haven't we? We've all used something like Pledge or Mr. Sheen or something stupid to clean our screens. And then you're spent with the rest of the time, when you get any sunlight come on your screen, you just see all the smears or the silicons like reflecting. Whereas this has no silicons, so it does a very, very good job. Anyway, that's enough of that. Good gear. Oh. And my screen now looks absolutely wunderbar. Okay, back to the questions. Ugly Bob says, Rick Mao, that's the badger.
Do you want another beer?
Oh yeah, go on in please, yeah.
Right.
Let's have a refill.
Wamp. Will my motherboard's 3-pin ARGB header get damaged if I use a 3-pin splitter?
Will your... I don't think so. Where's that?
A bit.
Yeah. Oh god, that's got to go right back up. Will, right, okay. Yazwanth Bondapali. Sorry if I've butchered your name somewhat there. It's Saturday and technically it's my day off.
Ass.
Yeah, let's have some blue ass this time. We've had green ass, let's try some blue ass. Blue ass. Cold ass. Yeah, it's cold ass, actually.
Has it got like a thing? Blue on green?
Shouldn't be seen. Will my motherboard's 3-pin addressable RGB header get damaged if I use a 3-pin splitter? Well, no. It won't, because that is essentially what a splitter is designed for. So if it's a 3-pin, or technically I guess the addressable RGB is a 4-pin, but it's got one of the pins blanked out. So if it's a traditional 5-volt addressable RGB splitter, then no, that's absolutely fine, because all you're doing is you're dividing up the 5-volt, the data, and the ground into various different locations. So if you're using, I guess it depends how many connections you have coming off of it. If you have too many, then potentially you could draw too much power from the board, which, yes, is going to cause you issues, but I've not done that very well. Anyway, so yeah, depending on how you connect things up, a splitter is designed to do that. I would essentially, if you can afford to do it, a powered hub is the much better way of doing it. That way you can take all the strain off your motherboard and any potential issues, and you can then plug in obviously more things should you need to. The GameMax addressable RGB hub, the new version with the new V2 chip in it, is a pretty good option. We were supposed to be getting sent another hub by, is it Aerocool? No, not Aerocool. Who's the other one who keeps on emailing and never ends up sending stuff? Begins with a B. Bitphoenix. Bitphoenix do a really good one. They've been threatening to send it for ages, and they never ever send it.
Don't think they've ever sent anything.
No. Bitphoenix, if you're watching, hello, hi, I'm Mike, Mike's Unboxing. If you want to send your stuff, please just send it. Don't worry about sending all the emails saying, would you like to review this? Just send it. It's easier.
Or just email for the address.
Yeah, or email. Or better still, there you go. It's down there. Send it there so all these good people out there can see the stuff. Anyway, okay. Welly Bob says, Sean Locke dying, very sad, no idea he was ill. Yeah, it is really sad. I like Sean Locke, he was funny as hell.
Oh, he did a series called 15 Stories.
If you've not watched 15 Stories already, it's so weird. It's hilarious. It's a little bit of a long haul, but it is absolutely brilliant. You should definitely watch it. James Brock says, I have no idea who Sean Locke is, should I care? I think really he's more of a British kind of humour, very, very, very dry humour, extremely talented. His comebacks, and if you've ever watched 8 out of 10 Cats, he was on there, and literally he could make up a story that you'd completely believe and be suckered into, and it would be hilarious. But it would seem completely genuine. He was absolutely brilliant comedian. Anyway, there you go. Cheers, everybody.
As a matter of fact, Sean Locke, but it also changed its phone.
That's quite nice. Summerall. Is that a summer beer? I'm not sure. Dutch Jan says, what do you think about the Gelid Solutions Amber 5? I've not seen it. I've not used it. Sorry. Sorry, just reading John Sullivan's comment there. I should get in contact with Gelid again, because I actually do like their stuff. He was... Gelid stuff's actually really good. It's the trouble is with Gelid is because, I'm not sure if it's because of their distribution or whatever, or because of the way they work, but Gelid products are generally quite hard to find depending where you are in the world. I think if you're in kind of like, I'm not too sure where the area is or geographically what you call it, but like Norway and places like that, Germany, kind of, I'm not sure, is that Northern European? I don't know, not a clue. If you had a map, I would tell you, but I don't, so. I probably wouldn't have a clue. If someone would give me a map and said, point to Norway, I'd be like, it's up there. It's over there. No idea. No idea at all. Absolutely illiterate. Back to the question, sorry. Yeah, Gelid stuff's generally very, very good, and it's actually pretty decent prices. Their Phantom Black Cooler, I've still got on the shelf. And that thing is absolute Scandinavia. Thank you, whoever said that. Thank you, Mike White. Yeah. gelid stuff is awesome, and their cooling paste actually, I was surprised how good that was. I thought it was going to be crap, but it's actually really good thermal cooling paste. So I've used it all now. Gelid, if you're watching as well, along with BitPhoenix, please send me some more cooling paste. Thank you very much. Please drive through.
There was a question, I've forgotten it now.
James Brock says, I loved watching Patsy and Adina. That is the absolutely fabulous ladies. And Benny Hill. Benny Hill. Kath doesn't appreciate slapstick comedy too much.
I didn't mind Benny Hill so
But
much.
Benny Hill was... I don't know how Benny Hill got away with it. I guess it was a sign of the times and how the world was back then. It was kind of... He always played the... either the overly shy man or the man who had it all. So it was kind of like in between both. There was never the middle ground. But yeah, he's very good.
It's all a bit predictable.
Yeah. Count Crocker 6 says, my legit Windows 10 turned into an Enterprise Edition for some strange reason. How did it do that? I don't think I've come across that before. We're going off topic now onto TV programs. I don't mind. Let's talk about TV programs.
Shame Captain Meat one here.
Yeah, Captain Meat would be in his element, and 80s nightmare horror fan thing. Yeah, Faulty Towers, awesome, definitely worth watching. I think actually that is why having a PC and building your own PC is so enjoyable, because all of this old stuff like your Faulty Towers, your Men Behaving Badly, Benny Hill, you can actually watch all that stuff kind of free if you know where to look. There is one place which Kath is going to tell me now. What's that link you sent me? That place to watch old TV stuff?
Oh, don't know. That one minute.
Kath's going to find it. There is a link which we possibly will post in the chat. So if you like watching older films and older TV series, you can actually watch it. There's links. I'm dubious about the copyright on it, but we'll post it anyway. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. But anyway.
Oh, actually, I know where it is.
Cheapskate Fishing says, I dislike how a lot of the older comedies have fallen foul of cancel culture. Wow. I gotta be honest with you, I totally agree with you. Obviously, looking at this, I am an older person, so I was growing up in the kind of 80s and 90s. So a lot of the comedy sketches and stuff that I grew up with at the time were seen as comedy sketches. They weren't seen as being vindictive, spiteful, racist, whatever label you want to put on it. It was of the time. Now obviously times change and values change and people change. So what you could do in the 70s and 80s, you can't do in the 90s and the noughties and the 10s, etc. And actually someone actually wrote a song and it was called This Is Not Acceptable in the 80s or something along those lines. So times do change, opinions change, people change. A lot of the comedy from the 70s and 80s wasn't done in spite. It was done pointing retrospectively back at the people. So if there was a slightly racist type comedy, they were more times than not inflating the character of the racist to make them look like a bigot, small-minded, etc., etc. And generally, the person on the receiving end of the abuse normally got the upper hand. But now it's seen as being flat out cancel culture. No, they've said a bad thing, it can't possibly be on TV, which I think is a real shame, because we can learn a lot from some of the mistakes we've made years ago, and also it's comedy, a lot of it. It's satire. It's designed to provoke laughter, whether it's at each other, ourselves, or whatever. It's comedy at the end of the day. Yes, Kath?
What's the advantage of getting an original version of Windows from Microsoft?
What is the advantage of getting an original version of Windows from Microsoft? The advantage of getting an official Microsoft Windows license key would be you can empty your wallet considerably quicker than you would elsewhere. Potentially, you may get the option of a physical piece of media, a USB stick or a CD-ROM, those round things that you used to throw in the garden. You might, if you buy a genuine retail license key and CD USB stick, you might get the opportunity to deactivate the license and reactivate the license at will, but I'm not sure if that's still a thing. It kind of was with Windows XP and 7, but I don't believe that is still true now. Normally a retail key will kind of follow you around, but for £89 to £100 or whatever it is now, you can buy, well, a Windows 10 license key from Premium CD Keys costs us today, was it £4.29? Is it £4.29? So £4.29. So in theory, £4.29 into, let's say for argument, £80 or £85 is 20 license keys.
€4.79.
€4.79. So yeah, £4 for argument's sake. So you could reinstall Windows 20 times with new license keys before you would catch up with what the money you spent out on an official retail license key. If you got it at a decent price, I've seen them go for £150 or more, which is like crazy stuff. Mellow Jello Cube says, Mike reviews 80s comedies. Hey, we'll talk about anything on those live streams. Okay, where's next? I was looking at the site then. Walid, it's actually trying to pronounce the names on some of these things, which actually catches me out. So, Wadid I4 Sun. I think I got that almost partially correct. Gelid using their 12cm Radiant D fans, great fans, got the best performance out of the box of my Scythe Fuma and Arctic Freezer 33 with them, better than Arctic's Bionics 12cm P and F. That's interesting. So Gelid Radiant-D fans, I'll have to keep a look out for those. Thank you very much for highlighting that. It's always good to have a look at stuff like that. Mike White says, to be honest, Windows 10 doesn't really need activating. Funny enough, when I sold that PC today, the guy said to me, he said, really, you can use Windows unactivated? I said, well, I appreciate that, but I've activated it for you, so I know that if you go away and you give it to your cousin, your nephew, whatever, and they say, I want to change my desktop wallpaper, they can do it. The sake of £5 or £4, whatever, gives me the peace of mind that I'm not going to get that phone call. Why can't I change my desktop? Or why does it say Windows isn't activated in the corner? The time and effort that I need to explain that and then rectify it is easier just to buy a license. It really is. Count Crocker 6 says, throw them in the sea. Yes, Aletta would be displeased. William Bodie says, yes, I did activate on my PC once with Windows 10 Pro 64-bit. Cool. Outlaw Fett says, what's new, Mike? Outlaw Fett, I remember you. He used to be a regular on a Discord. He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel. They seek him here, they seek him there. That Outlaw Fett, they seek him everywhere. Mellow Jelly Cube says, Windows 10 Home Retail version plus $139. Jesus, that's a lot of money. I know it's American dollars, but wow. Well, there's a big big hole I can jump into. So Yaswanth Bondapali, sorry again if I pronounced your name completely wrong. What is your opinion on India? Question mark. I could get myself into a whole heap of trouble here, but I won't, I'll be honest. India seems like a great country. I've got to be honest with you, I don't know much about it. I've never been there. All I really know is what I see on the internet and from you good people that watch the videos and comment and stuff, and from what I can tell from my limited interactions is that most Indian people have an extremely good grasp of English, being that it is not, I guess, your native language. So thumbs up for that, because hell, if I tried to communicate in Indian, I would be screwed. Yeah, I would say India seems like a very cool and up-and-coming country.
And I feel very sorry for their farmers.
Yeah, and I do feel sorry for their farmers, which seems to be going through some kind of hell at the moment, from what we can tell, again, from the media. So I don't know, but it doesn't seem good. But yeah, in general, India appears to be a cool place. And one day, hopefully, fingers crossed, we may be able to visit. That would be awesome. Wow. Hang on. I have to... This is a difficult one. Cheapskate Fishing says, given that the x86 chipset is over 40 years old now and Moore's law has started to stagnate, do you think that a whole new redesign of computing is in order? I'm just trying to have a stream and have a beer. I don't need this kind of harassment. Yes, I think there definitely needs to be something that changes. We've become to the point where when there is an upgrade available, be it from AMD, Nvidia, Intel, any company at all, say Brent, Samsung, whatever the case may be, if you take the greatest and the latest and greatest even of today's hardware, and in 6 months' time you take the latest and greatest of the hardware which is available then, the difference in price between the two will be considerable. The performance increase will be negligible. Probably at most 25%, on average maybe 5-10%. So yes, definitely I would say something has got to change. It is getting to the point where it's upgrade for upgrade's sake, or change for change's sake. At the moment the PC industry is mostly being driven by, well, COVID for one, distribution for two, and penny pinchers on the other. So we're talking the financial bods, the chief financial officers at companies, where they're looking at their figures and saying, well, there's been a global downturn, we need to generate some income, what can we do? So most companies will come out with a incrementally faster product. So whether it's an X on the end of a processor, a K on the end of a processor, a very minuscule update in performance, and they release it as a new product and say, there you go, the public, there is your new product, rejoice. And it's like, well, no, we're not going to rejoice. This is the same crap rebadged. It happens over and over. Look at the 6600 XT. What is the 6600 XT? Tell me in the comments, what is the 6600 XT? Is it the new 1080p gaming masterpiece, which previously would have cost most people less than 200 quid? What is it? It's AMD saying, we have to release something, we're being left behind, let's release something so it looks like we're not. When in fact, they are. They've released basically a rehashed graphics card, which is fundamentally and technologically worse than its predecessor, but for more money. I know it's where we are in the world today, but come on, we deserve better. We really do. We deserve something with a little bit of oomph. Something which is going to really say, right, this is new, this is what's happening, look at what it can do, and it doesn't cost a great deal more than the last one. That is what we want.
That's what you want, not what
Ain't going to happen though. Yeah, we don't really need it. Most people in here, let me know in the comments section now, what processor and graphics card have you got in your PC right now? In your main PC? If you've got multiple PCs, hey, feel free to comment multiple ones, but realistically, what have you got? Like, the best graphics card I've got here is a 5700 XT. The best processor I've got is a 3900 XT. 3900X, yeah. That is, what, 2 years old now? If not more. So do I need a 6900 XT? Do I need a 6700 XT? Do I need a 5000 series? No, definitely don't. It would be nice to have. But why am I going to spend best part of, I don't know, £400 or £500 on a 5900 XT, 1600 XT, if I could even get one at retail, which I can't obviously. Same for the processor. Why would I upgrade a 3900 XT, or 3900X, sorry, to a 5900X? What is the point? What do I, as a customer, what do I get? Other than the fact that in a benchmark I can get a few more points, or I can look cool in a video because I've got this processor. It's ridiculous. You don't get much more for your money. If you've sold something which you had, then yeah, buy something new, upgrade it. It's cool, it's nice, it's good to have that feel-good feeling. But if you've got it, and when you take it out your motherboard, you're just going to put it back in the box, why? Why bother?
Soton Gel's muffin, isn't he?
No.
No?
No. Soton Gel is, I forget. Hi Soton Gel. So James Brock, i7 8700 and a 1066 gigabyte. Absolutely great. Gumbo's FX 8350 gets the job done. Dave Aitken 3700X and RTX 3070. Again, great combo. Mike White 5600X and a water-cooled GTX 950. The water-cooled GTX 950, spectacular. That's all I can say. Spectacular. Kenny D says a Ryzen 5 600 and a RX 570, sorry, 4 gig gets the job done. Actually, a really good little combo. I actually played Flight Sim 2020 on that, and it ran fine. Dutch Jan Ryzen 5 5600X and a RX 5700 XT. Again, excellent combo. Can't go wrong. You've got some cool specs there. Aletta 1300X and a 5700 XT, both water cooled. Same here, apart from obviously lacking water. Fishface 6 got a Voodoo Dark Witch card. Okay, I could dig that. But yeah, looking at your systems there, you're all good. No one out there that I can see, maybe Mike White with the Liquid Cool GTX 950, none of you need upgrades. And if you're playing games and it works, although Rick's got a GT 1030, but then if you don't play games, then why worry about it? You're all good. Literally, you're all good. So why would you want to upgrade? Why would you want to take all of your money and sink it into the latest processor? Clearly, I'm not going to get sponsorship from AMD, Intel, or Nvidia at this rate, but I don't see the point. I really don't see the point. If your PC does what you need it to do, you're good. You're good. There's nothing else you can say. You are good. When it comes down to if you're doing PC stuff for a living, like for me, I make a living out of doing YouTube videos. So if my PC gets to the point where I cannot edit a video, I need to upgrade because it's holding me back. It's like a tool. But if you're just a casual gamer, you're playing it 1440p and suddenly you think, oh, I'm not quite getting 100 frames per second, but I really would like 100 frames per second. If you've got the money, fine, upgrade. If you're not, do yourself a favour, lower your resolution. Change your settings. There is no need to do this constant upgrade cycle. Just because Linus, just because Jay, just because Bitwit, just because whatever, just because they have got a 5950X and a 3090, you don't need it as well. They don't need it, truth be told, but because they're being paid to influence you into wanting that stuff, it's possibly working. Hopefully not, though. Stuart Cleary says consumerism. It is to some extent. It certainly is. Hugh W says, what is lager? What kind? This is ASUS in blue. Thanks to Cosmic Space Muffin. Available in green ASUS and blue ASUS. I think they do black ASUS as well. I don't know other ones. Loads of different ones.
You did have yellow, didn't you?
I did have a yellow one as well. Okay. O'Reilly says, I'm interested in portable monitors. I've actually got a semi-portable monitor which Skystalker sent me, which I have set up and then unset up because I cannot... Well, it's just one of those weeks. You guys know already. I've started off with the stream, told you what my week was like. The week sucked. It was horrendous. So getting my own kind of little things done. Also, Sky, bless him, sent me a fantastic little thing, which is the... Where is it? It's down here in the pile of stuff I need to sort out. The Stream Deck, which actually would have been extremely useful now, I think. But I've not unboxed it yet. I've not even broken the seal on the box.
You don't even know how to use it.
I don't know how to use it, so I've got to do a lot of research and development to work out how that is going to do.
Cosmic.
Oh, Soap and Gel is Cosmic.
I told you.
Yes, Soap and Gel normally is on as Cosmic. I'm confused and a little drunk. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, Soap and Gel is on as bloody Andy from Little Britain.
Right, oh yeah.
I want,
That's Lou.
I want that one.
Lou's the keeper in me.
Oh dear. William Bodie says only Mike has an RGB ass. I'm almost there. I've got blue and green. Just need the red. I need some red ass as well. That'll be later, eh, Cav? Oh, cancel culture. Fred Brown says Steve at Gamers Nexus uses a FX 3970. No, 8370. Close, no cigar. Stuart Cleary's another €10. Cheers, Mike. What's the difference between the two beers? Gotta be honest with you, not a clue. Very similar taste actually, because they're both beers. Is one stronger than the other? Both 4.7%. One's a Pilsner, one's a Summerall. I don't know what Summerall means. Where's Cosmic Space Muffin when you need him? What does that mean? You can't see it.
Do I need to autofocus after those lights?
No. It says Summerall, which is spelled Sommerol, but it's got an O with a line through it, so that's a 0 in it. I don't know. Not sure. That tastes lighter. And actually, in terms of colour, actually looks lighter as well.
Ah, he's on his phone.
And smell-wise, it's definitely a different hop, or hops, whatever it is they use to make these things. I don't know. It's too technical for me. Don't spill beer on the laptop. I'll definitely try not to. That would be bad. Hugh says, not sure if we can get that beer in the USS or US. I don't think it does. I'm not entirely sure. Summer beer. Yeah, it is a lighter beer. It's definitely more... It's lighter, but it's kind of more... It's a fresh kind of light beer, if that makes sense. Okay. Right, it's coming up towards 11 o'clock, so I think, therefore I am. Wise man once said. So I'm going to wrap the stream up now. If any of you want to have a little chat with us on our Discord later on, we will be on the CAF site.
I could get up early tomorrow.
Ruby-doo-doo. Not long. We'll be on the Discord for a little bit. I'm just going to pack away the stream stuff and then we'll be on the Discord. So if you want to have a chat with us on our Discord, you're more than welcome to do so, as long as you keep it friendly and keep it cool and all that kind of whatever stuff. So I think that's going to wrap this one up. If you want to see the rest of the video on the build and see how all that goes and see how I somehow managed to integrate this into it, which I'm probably going to struggle, but anyway, you can do. What's that still in here?
Get me a new kitten, Mike. Lots of love, Cat.
Thanks, Bob. Bob, thanks for the picture you just sent. You are in trouble. You nicey colours of ass, lovely. Yes, thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for the super chats as well. Thank you for taking part. Yeah, if you do want to join us on our Discord, it will be on microphone and cameras. So get your glad rags on, and we will see you a little bit later on in the Discord chat. So I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching. Oh dear, I've always got to press 2 buttons. I wonder if the Stream Deck's going to help that. Who knows? We'll find out later. See you later.